Good morning, Miriam. Today we're gonna give this a clean. Oh yeah.
Morgen.
300 kilometers.
Oh, shining like new.
Alright, so here we are in our NIO ET7, which is now sparkling clean after this car wash, and we've been already driving it down from Berlin, so more than 700 kilometers here to southern Germany, and we have it now for almost a week. And so time for a quick recap, maybe not all of the details yet, but some context for you guys on why we have this ET7 and what are our first impressions. So Miriam, what comes to your mind after the first week?
So I'm really impressed by how many people are actually stopping for the car and how many times we get approached on the street. Actually one time a guy was even waiting for us around the corner to see who's driving the NIO ET7. So I was surprised that so many people already knew the car. And then the second thing that surprised me from the driver's side, which I really like a lot now and I didn't appreciate it so much in the first test drive was that there are really only a few buttons. So it's really convenient. You have everything there that you need with the first button or first touch, but everything else is hidden. And this is quite nice.
Right, there will be more time for much more detailed in-car reviews and all of the impressions that we got. Let me say so much. My personal surprise, I should say, was really about the NIO Pilot. I didn't expect it to work so well in Germany, and when we came down all the way, you know, we use it like 80 to 90% of the time. So basically Miriam and Naomi were driving me down here to the south. That was a really good experience, and you know, from a technology standpoint, that's really exciting. But you know, there's lots of controversy about this car. Of course, some YouTubers have tested it already, and some of them had some negative experiences in the beginning. Some were really excited about the quality of the car, and I would say also there is you know, the question mark on the sales numbers in China, but also of course in the future for NIO in Europe. And of course we had the earnings call now, which I covered on the channel, and in which NIO also, or Lieben, stated that they're expecting around 10,000 or maybe less than 10,000 vehicles being sold in Europe in the very beginning. So why did we get this NIO ET7 in the first place right now? Maybe let's start here with a shout out to NIO, which helped us to make this possible. Maybe not in a way that you think of, because we are actually just very normal customers of NIO here in this regard. So we subscribe to the NIO ET7, so we didn't buy it, but for us it's really just super convenient to be subscribing to NIO, and that was actually, like, you know, kind of the key message of the NIO Day in Berlin, where they said like flexibility is the new premium. And I made a video about it and said like I'm personally a fan of it, much to the contrary, or to the contrast to what lots of people mentioned in the comments who rather own the vehicle. But still, I have to say, for us this is just the perfect thing, because you know, we are now subscribing to the ET7. I'll be on my way to China later on, and so I don't need a car standing around in Europe during that time. And
Naomi wants to be part of the video.
yeah. And well, when I'm back in Germany, then I possibly can also switch the model. By that time we should have the ET5 already, and so Miriam is a big fan of the ET5. I'm sure we're gonna get one as well. So I really like the subscription model, and I can say that although we are being normal customers, NIO was quite comforting in terms of you know, giving us very quick access to this car, because we are kind of time constrained here because of the fact that I've just mentioned that I'll be going to China soon. And as mentioned before, we have this NIO ET7 logos on the doors. Actually, we chose to have this because there was also the possibility to have it without it, but we said, like, you know, it's possibly nice to get in contact with more people. As Miriam just mentioned, people immediately start talking about the car and approaching us from time to time. Plus, if we chose this configuration with the 100 kilowatt hour battery and dark trim inside, we could only get a immediate delivery if we take this car with the logos on the side. Otherwise, we would have to wait a very long time to get it. So we don't mind to have a little bit of a branded car here on top of that. But the bottom line is, for us, it was the right choice to become a subscriber to it and test it out. I think we're now paying around, what is it, 1,700 euros a month with basically a worry-free package. But we will see whether or not this is truly a worry-free package, because our plan is to drive this car over the Alps to Italy, and that will be an interesting journey, I guess, because usually when we are in Italy, people are telling us, you know, there's no way electric mobility is going to work in Italy. Also, investors from Italy are even telling me, like, you know, that is a strategic mistake that NIO is making a market entry in Italy. And so we are going where, you know, what kind of fits the European lifestyle, not maybe the NIO lifestyle. We'll see how good they are matching actually with a car that is electric only and may not really fit well for this purpose. But we'll find out along the way, and that's where we're taking you guys with us starting next week. And so far during this week, we had the opportunity to cover a couple of, you know, everyday use cases, such as running errands, going longer distance journeys, finding charging spots in Germany and so on. We'll cover that more in detailed videos later on. And for the trip to Italy, we'll also use this car as a business car, as what it is, frankly, in my point of view. So going to meet clients along the way, we're going to meet investors, we're going to meet maybe NIO fans and investors in Italy as well. And so we'll see how people are reacting to the car, and also you know, what will be our impressions of how viable it is actually as a car for these purposes. And so this should actually kind of wrap up our insights into what we get also from the ET7 in terms of kind of an investor's due diligence, if you will, because you know, ultimately this will be all about who is this car for, who will be purchasing this car, and how big of a market is that, and how well is this car catering to the needs of this specific target group. So my first impression already is like I've been filming on the way down from Berlin in the back of the car, you know, just sitting there relaxing and working a little bit on the computer and filming a Patreon-only video about my take about BYD and why I haven't invested in it and why I'm not chasing that one. So patrons, go and check that one out. And that for me was the perfect use case already, you know, with this spacious car. And so my personal expectation for subscribing to this car, using it, testing out those use cases, as I've mentioned, is actually to, you know, finding answers from an investor's perspective to, you know, all of these questions that I've just raised, and afterwards better know whether or not NIO's potential and opportunity and growth prospects here are actually in sync with the expectations, my personal expectations, but possibly also your expectations. And so please let me know in the comments everything that you want us to check out during the trip, and basically anything else that comes to you in mind. Just put it all in the comments and let us know. And yeah, anything else from your side, Miriam?
No, like if you're in Italy or in Austria or Switzerland, we're happy to meet you. So also post that in the comments.
There was just another guy. You know, we're now somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and there was just another guy checking out the car. I think he's already watching still. Alright then, this is it for today. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next videos.